The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365. Listen up, friends. This is Alex Jones with key information. The mainstream media is now admitting that we're going into a depression. Don't be dependent on the government for you and your family. You need to get your own supply of high-quality storable foods from efoodsdirect.com. They're the best company out there, the longest continually operating, with a ton of great food to choose from. It's all fresh and made on a monthly basis, not some old cruddy food they're selling you like some of the other guys. Try their new evacuation pack, a 2-week supply of delicious, easy-to-fix food. It comes with all the equipment you need to prepare it. With open talk of a strike on Iran in the next 3 months, the crisis in the Gulf, and possible evacuations, get yourself and your family ready today. The place to go is efoodsdirect.com. Go to their website online right now, efoodsdirect.com/Alex, or call 800-409-5633. Again, on the web, efoodsdirect.com/Alex, or give them a call at 800-409-5633.
The question is, where should the American people draw their line in the sand?
What have we got? A republic or a monarchy?
A republic is based on a constitution which protects minority rights.
Not democracy, not mob rule, 2 wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner.
So they think they own our land, they think they own our water, children, our education, our money.
We have to define who we are and what we will tolerate.
Somebody's going to ask you what you did during the Patriot Uprising.
You have been warned.
We have the facts. We have the Constitution. We have the Bill of Rights. We have common law. Knowledge is power, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm so excited to be able to offer you Don't Tread on Me, Rise of the Republic. Tyranny is upon us, but liberty and the sleeping giant that is the American people is rising. A new tool in the info war. Don't Tread on Me. Order it at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139 and support independent, patriotic Liberty films. We are back live. Here's another report. Artificial meat may feed the planet, scientists say, and they say because of overpopulation, they may start growing artificial meat in vats, and Fox News has that image of the luscious artificial meat. And then there's another report here out of the Mail Online where they talk about because of overpopulation, they may have to do this because it's also immoral to eat meat. And so this is part of the green technology economy, which again gives the scientific elite total control where you won't be able to have your own cows or grow your own crops. Everything will be GMO, everything patented by the globalist. It's incredible. Let's go ahead and take another call. Well, now let's finish up with David in Florida. David, if you just joined us, was saying that he disagrees with me about Islam. And so tell me, David, what you think my views on Islam are, because, you know, there are 1,000, probably 10,000 or more radio shows, blogs, maybe 100,000, now that I think about it, globally, of people arguing, hundreds of different sects of, and groups of Christians, scores of groups with Muslims, everyone fighting with each other. Everyone's got the answer. Everyone wants to take over the other group, reportedly. And it just becomes a giant political football. But, I mean, if you disagree with me, then boil down what you think my views on Islam are.
Well, the views on Islam that you have, I mean, It's just one where I don't know, I can't say you have or haven't, but you probably don't know who they say they are. See, they say who they are in their book, which is the Quran. Their book tells them that they have to do such, such, and such in order for them to be in position to be acceptable by Allah. There are certain things that they can do, i.e., die in jihad, that grant them immediate access to paradise where they get the 70 virgins, etc.
I know about that. Okay, but I mean, what's my view that you disagree with? I mean,
well, the part about your views, you're saying that, oh, well, you know, there's some moderate. There's no such thing as a moderate Muslim, first of all. That doesn't exist. A moderate Muslim is the equivalent of a Christian who fornicates, who smokes and drinks, who cusses, who cheats at business, and all that. Okay? That's not really a Christian.
Well, listen, what I'm trying to get at here is I simply pointed out that I understand why people are upset about the mosque at Ground Zero, but this is multiculturalism. We were a Christian country. We've decided to get rid of the family, attack Christianity, and anything that's anti-Christian is good for now because the globalists are using the open borders, all of it, to balkanize this country so we can have divide and conquer. I'm a Christian, but I'm non-denominational. I don't get involved in all this fighting, and I have a news broadcast, and people are always calling me saying, you know, criticize this group, criticize that group. Look, I'm against these wars, and they point out, I mean, look at Saudi Arabia as our big ally. They're one of the most oppressive Muslim nations out there, and I disagree with it, and I criticize that variant of Islam. I mean, that certainly is, a very oppressive state, and my whole issue here is this is not a show where I get into all of this, and my only issue was I'm saying if we don't let this Muslim mosque 2 blocks from Ground Zero have their free speech and have their right to religion, that'll set the precedent that I don't have my right to free speech and religion, okay? And I pointed out that this particular sect is less than 1% and is New Agey, and most of the other big Muslim groups hate them and fight with them more than they fight with Christians and other people. So that was my only point. But let's say it was a hardcore Wahhabist mosque. I don't like that. I know 9/11 was an inside job used as a pretext to go into these countries for oil, weapon sales, Israel, and other issues. It's just you have to be for the Bill of Rights and Constitution for everybody, or nobody's going to have it. That's what I said. That's what Ron Paul said. And I do know that Muslim pirates, but there were also English pirates and French pirates and everybody else were robbing shipping of the infidels in the Mediterranean and off the east coast of Africa up into the Persian Gulf. And I know full well about all those ships of leathernecks. Our Marines would wear leather collars, so as armor. So when the Muslims would board their ships, they couldn't chop their heads off right away. That's the term leatherneck. I know all about the big anti-war guy, president. Sending the Marines over there, Thomas Jefferson, and I'm fully aware of that. So, I mean, I'm not, I just don't want World War III with Iran. I mean, I just don't want World War III with Pakistan. They got nukes. I mean, do you agree we should have war with these people?
No, I don't think that we should. I don't think for a minute that we should seek to have some sort of war with them under false pretense. Okay? Now, granted, the Islamicists have been used and abused, and a monster has been created that the globalists believe they can control. And one of the things that I appreciate about you most is bringing that fact out and fleshing that out in Endgame. And I appreciate that to no end, because that way that enables people to see our government in the light of who they are, and enables them to
Well, it's not even our government. It's a global corporate consortium that call themselves the New World Order that have taken over all these governments. Here's what I'm saying. I know there's been radical elements of Islam from its beginning. I know that they started the invasion and pushed all the way into Western Europe and tried to take over. That's what groups do. The Romans were doing that, under a Christian banner, and then they fell to the pagan Visigoths and Vandals and others. My point here is that in the 40s and 50s and 60s, on record, our government would go in and fund radical Muslims who overthrew the quasi-secular governments that wanted to have first world countries. They put radical Muslims in to destabilize and to keep people, you know, the women barefoot and pregnant. Our system did not want them to become westernized. And so that's a fact. So yes, there are radical Muslims that are dangerous out there. My issue is they were supercharged by our government, and that's on record. And look, there aren't 30 million Muslims in this country, and I don't see them running around calling for jihad and revolution. I could care less if somebody's black, white, whatever color they are, as long as they're for private property, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution. So I defend that. So I have to say that, you know, we can't tell them they can't have this mosque, because I may not like it because I know how it's being spun. But at the same time, I can't say don't give them their rights, or nobody will. Here's another issue. If there were 30 million Muslims here saying this, you know, belong to Muslims, saying go home to Europe Westerners, pulling down American flags and running up, you know, Turkish flags or Iranian flags at schools and police stations and post offices, and if Muslims were in schools in San Francisco saying you can't wear your American flag, get out of here, I would really be after them, okay? Because here's the deal. The Ford Foundation, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation are on record, billions of dollars together, funding Mexicans from Mexico, and it's perfect. It's covert. It's a different language. You know, Americans that are Americans don't know this is going on, and it's being funded to break the country up for the North American Union because it's real. It's happening. It's a foreign invasion of nationalistic fervor against the country. And if I really start seeing Muslims do that, I'm going to come out against them. But I don't see that. I see this made-up thing about a mosque, and so I am an American. Not that our system's perfect, but it's better than Saudi Arabia, better than Mexico, better than communist China. So I'm against China, not because they're Asian, but because they've got a horrible, corrupt system of dehumanization. I'm against Mexico, not because they're Mexican. I'd love to see them free. It'd be a paradise down there. I'd probably have a house down there. I'd probably move down there. It's beautiful if it was like the United States. But the culture isn't that way, and it's lost wars with the U.S., and they're taught in school down with America. And I'm going to talk about it. You know, 1 week after 9/11 in Mexico City, the American team was playing the Mexican team, and they were chanting Osama, Osama down with America. I mean, we got a problem, folks. You know, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and put up with people that say they're going to take my country over and they hate my guts. And that's not saying Hispanics are like that. It's not saying all Mexicans are like that. Mexicans are great patriotic Americans if they choose to be American, which most of them do. But these illegals don't. And so, I mean, you know, again, that's not a religious or a racial issue. You know, I mean, if we had Poland bordering us, and Poland had lost wars with us, and part of this country had been Poland at a time, and Poland wasn't a free country, and Poland was saying this country belonged to them, and there were 30 million Poles here, I'd be against it. Not because they're white, but because this isn't their country, and this country is better. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, do you understand what I'm trying to get at here?
Yeah, I totally understand what you're trying to get at, but see, that's not their purpose. Their stated purpose is world domination. This is what their book tells them to do.
Well, let me tell you something. Somebody comes to my door and tries to demand that I convert to Islam, or somebody comes to my door and tries to make my kids take mercury-filled shots, or somebody comes to my door and tries to draft my children. I'm not anybody's slave, okay? So I'm not seeing what you are saying about Muslims in this country. They tend to be conservative. They tend to be pro-Second Amendment. I don't agree with some Muslim groups trying to say you can't depict Muhammad in a bad way. Another Muslim, and so, being sarcastic, folks. So I'm against that. Okay, I'm against them not letting them have their mosque, and I'm against Muslims trying to tell us what we can do in this country. If they don't like it, they should get out of here. Okay, but I mean, I don't know. Anything else, sir? You've got the last minute.
Thank you. The point of the matter is the nature of who they say they are is not a religion, and it is not just a legal system. It is a quantity of both. And the thing about it is they're ruled by their religion. That's their law. So when you talk about their religion, you talk about their political system as well. You talk about
and if they start trying to implement Sharia law within our state constitutions, as soon as I see that, I see the big foundations against the Muslims. Okay? As soon as, if I ever see that, I'm going to come out of the gates like a tiger.
Well, then you need to come out of the gates like a tiger, because last week we were